present, or future, the City of Dillon has a rich heritage. Join us now for Down Home Dillon, where we will focus on our history, present accomplishments, and the future of our great city. Welcome to Down Home Dillon.
All right, good morning. Welcome to Down Home Dillon. It's windy, May the 8th here. In downtown Dillon, always good to walk from office down Main Street a block to run this show. So we're going to call the city manager again like we did last month and kind of let him fill us in, because frankly I don't have anything else to say, or not much, because things just have been shut down pretty much, like most places throughout the country, even though I hear some starting to open up. Thank goodness that's happening. But we'll call Mr. Glenn Wagner when we return and ask him what's going on. So hang tight, we'll be right back in a moment.
Experience true Southern hospitality. Enjoy an unforgettable day of golf and warm up your game right here in your own backyard at the newly renovated City of Dillon Municipal Golf Course, formerly Twin Lakes. If you haven't shot around here recently, you should give it a try. With 18 holes for $18 every Thursday, value is in the bag. Memberships are available and no tee time required, but call ahead anyway. We'll get a cart ready for you.
All right, welcome back to Down Home Dillon. During the break, I did get a hold of Mr. Wagner, who's in the office today. You know, last month I called in on him, and he filled us in on what's going on around the city, what the city's doing, what the city's not doing. And we're just going to kind of have that format again today. Because like I said, I'm just one of the business owners uptown trying to stay open. But I do notice downtown's been obviously quiet. Other than the hardware store and Dillon Woodworks. I know they've been absolutely run with business due to the stimulus money. And people with a lot of free time are doing some home repairs and so forth, so that makes sense. So in that regard, those businesses have been wide open. But anyway, Glenn, what's going on around town that you can tell us, any changes or what have you?
Well, we've seen a lot of movement of people throughout town, especially here at City Hall, paying their water bills or getting building permits or business license, and then trying to pay their property taxes, whether it's on their homes or their vehicle taxes. Walking them through the steps, how to do that, not being in person per se, but from a standpoint financially, from the city standpoint, we're collecting what we thought we'd collect anyway for the month of April for utility bills. Our users and citizens are paying those, which is great that they're still doing that, just as they were prior to the pandemic. We're trying to work on our budget process to get it going so we can have it in place by July 1st. It is kind of a slow process now due to the fact it's kind of hard to meet with council one-on-one to discuss some of these budget issues that we may have. But we're working through it, and hopefully here in, as of the day of the recording, what is this, May 8th, maybe Governor McMaster will lift the state of emergency here in the next week or so, and things can kind of get back to normal.
Yeah.
But if that does happen, we still have to kind of adhere to some of the restrictions that have been in place. I think social distancing still needs to be adhered to. And then again, folks that are nervous or wanting to be cautious, continue practicing social distancing and wearing a mask if that makes you comfortable. But always, whether it's the pandemic or not, we always need to make sure that our hygiene, we take the steps to make sure our hands are always clean. If we sneeze or cough or whatever, to cover those. So it's a learning process that we probably all should have learned years ago, but it's a new process now for us. So it's interesting at the same time, but also kind of nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I thought the governor would have had South Carolina open by now. He kind of did and went back on that. Some other states have gotten ahead of him on reopening. So we'll see where that goes. Let me ask you on recyclables. You know, I recycle your clear plastic, and I know y'all halted that. Is that back up?
That is actually going to be started back Monday,
Okay,
May
good.
the 11th. Even though, you know, again, this broadcast to be after it's open or after we start back, but we are going to start back May the 11th, picking up recyclables. It should have been posted in the Dillon Herald for May the 7th in their newspaper, and it's also on our Facebook page. And we, you know, we need to make sure everybody who can, we put out a lot of information through Facebook.
Yeah.
So if folks are inclined to be a part of Facebook, that's where you can get a lot of quick information from the city. So, you know, we need to make sure everybody understands that. But that will begin back on May the 11th.
All right, good. I shared that a lot. I know, you know, my wife gives me the numbers every day on people with catching the virus. I know y'all haven't been immune to it. Obviously, I don't list names, but I know the city has not escaped the wrath of COVID-19. You know, I was talking to a friend of mine. He says, Todd, before it's over, 80% of us are going to have it. Most of us won't even know. So it's just, you know, something last month I was sitting here talking to you. I was thinking, well, we'll got to get back to normal next time I'm sitting on this stool, but that ain't the case. And I don't think next month this time's going to be the case either, unfortunately. So, you know, I don't know. I'm glad to hear y'all's, you know, your budget is okay. I know a lot of municipalities, state governments, they're in dire straits. And a lot longer this thing goes on, I don't guess y'all are going to be immune to it either.
No, and that is a concern, especially with the small businesses. You know, it's good to see that some of them have opened back up to some degree, but, you know, if people are not visiting them, you know, they're not collecting any revenue, so it's going to be hard for them to pay their business license or any other bills that they may have. So,
yeah,
we will see. I will think we would see a downturn in that revenue stream, which is a big revenue stream for the city. I would see that to decrease if this continues on for up until the middle of the summer, but hopefully it won't. And, you know, and if so, we'll be prepared for it.
Yeah.
And that's one of the processes of the budget now, trying to determine what our possible incomes are going to be in the coming year. And over the years that I've been doing this, I look at trends of what we've collected for the past 5 years, and you know, you kind of have some idea, but this is going to be a year that's really going to possibly mess up those trends. So we're hanging in there, and hopefully things will work out for everybody as much as possible. But going back to employees of the city, we did have 3 employees at this time, or as of today, who had tested positive. But from my understanding, none of them were in very bad shape as far as symptoms go.
Yeah.
One of the 3 came back to work this week. Actually, on May the 4th, 2 more are scheduled to come back next week. And they were in different departments. So,
right.
They're all in one department doing that.
Well, good.
It's been interesting.
Yeah, it sure has. You know, we're redoing those 2 buildings, as you know, right in the middle of this. Started it before it ever, you know, the virus is known. But, you know, so I have a few contractors coming in, and I was talking to a plumber the other day. I said, how's things going? And he says, Todd, I was busy. Now things are shutting down. Another contractor, they're slow. The 1 or 2 I got there working, they're with me all the time, so they're not on the job anywhere else. I did have one person say, yeah, I'm busy, so it's kind of mixed, but for the most part, you know, they're, you know, business is going to struggle in this. It just is, and you know, I don't know what else you say when, you know, everything right now is tightened up, and it's just going to stay that way a while. Some people are scared to death of this virus, rightfully so.
They are, and they should be. We've been fortunate in Dillon County as of today. I don't remember the numbers, but I think we've got 70-plus people in Dillon County who have tested positive. But knock on wood, there's been no death.
No, you're right. You can probably times 10 that on the real numbers, but everywhere can. I know one day I got a little concerned. I saw 13. Dillon got reported 13 in the county, but I don't think yesterday was any. So, it's only, what DHEC puts out and what they know and what they don't know. But one other thing on the wellness center, what do you anticipate that reopening?
Again, I think as soon as the governor lifts the state of emergency,
okay,
that would open. We've got plans put in place if there are going to be restrictions. We don't know what those restrictions may or may not be, but we have some plans in place in case there are restrictions on number of people that can be in there at one time. Probably, if there are those type restrictions, the only thing that would be open at the wellness center would be the fitness side. We wouldn't have any rooms available for any meetings and things of that nature at this time, but we do have those plans in place. In fact, we closed on, I think it was March the 15th or 16th is when we actually closed the doors. So it's been well over a month, or almost 2 months that we've closed. We've repainted inside of the building. The staff has done that. We've cleaned the building. We've done some things inside that has been neglected over the past 13 years. So being used so much. So we've done some things during this time period to spruce up the building, and we're planning to have, once we open, a new rate structure.
Okay, well, we'll get into that.
To do that, but we're looking forward to it. The staff there is looking forward to it. They're getting bored by having to do manual labor instead of on-site work.
I better be glad I'm not the governor. I'd be opening up. I mean, I saw something the other day. Most of New York, most of the people with the virus are staying at home. I mean, I don't get closing the beaches, but I don't get it. And I think you can stay apart. You can wear a mask if you want. And, if you've been infected, hopefully you're okay going forward. Last question is not an easy one for you. How has enforcement been with the businesses here? Have y'all had a problem confronting people?
No, not really. I mean, in the beginning, we would get calls that this particular business may have been doing something they wasn't supposed to. We go check it out, and we walk through them and tell them what they can and cannot do based on the governor's executive orders, and they've adhered to it. So we've really had any issues. We haven't written any citations. Just education and trying to be understandable to the small business owners, because, as you know, if they're not open, they're not collecting revenue. They can't pay their employees. They can't pay this or that. So we're working with them as long as they're meeting the executive orders that the governor has issued.
Right. I got you. All right, Glenn, I think that's all. Take care of yourself, and we'll see where we go with this next month, if we do another call-in or not. You have a good weekend.
You do the same. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, well, we'll be right back in just a moment.
Experience true Southern hospitality. Enjoy an unforgettable day of golf and warm up your game right here in your own backyard at the newly renovated City of Dillon Municipal Golf Course, formerly Twin Lakes. If you haven't shot around here recently, you should give it a try. With 18 holes for $18 every Thursday, value is in the bag. Memberships are available and no tee time required, but call ahead anyway. We'll get a cart ready for you.
Welcome back. Like I say, I don't have much more to say other than everybody's in waiting mode, and people want to know when the wellness center is going to open, when your salons are going to open. Like I say, I'd have them open now. There's just a way you can carry people in on a limited basis and do it. I was fortunate I was able to work, so I'm not one of those that's going to say, you need to stay home, you can't open up. That would be kind of hypocritical of me to say that. Well, I can go to work, well, other people can't. But, you know, I get it on the other side too. There's a lot of irresponsible people out there, especially you gotta watch the elderly. Elderly and those people with health problems. They're the ones with the trouble with this virus until a vaccine comes out. You know, you got a right to be scared of it. Don't let it scare you so much that you just waste your life away either. That's not me. I don't think that's most people, but we'll get through it one way or the other. Enjoy your, you know, the rest of your spring, heading into early summer. Hopefully summer we'll start this new way of life until a vaccine comes out. We'll get accustomed to it somehow, some way, and you know, we'll get back to our activities, and downtown will start ramping up again with new construction, with revitalization, renovations, and so forth. Stay safe though. A lot of crime right now. Some reason I don't get it out in the county, especially, but. Watch your neighbor, especially if they're susceptible to being alone for an extended period of time, and just be smart. And with that, we'll see you next week on Down Home, or next month on Down Home Dillon.